Bones of the skull. Structure. Fractures teach me anatomy. The skull is a bony structure that supports the face and forms a protective cavity for the brain. It is comprised of many bones, which are formed by intramembranous ossification and joined by sutures, fibrous joints. The bones of the skull can be considered as two groups: those of the cranium, which consist of the cranial roof and cranial base, and those of the face. In this article, we shall look at the anatomy of the bones of the skull, their orientation, articulations, and clinical relevance. Cranium. The cranium, also known as the neurocranium, is formed by the superior aspect of the skull. It encloses and protects the brain, meninges, and cerebral vasculature. Anatomically, the cranium can be subdivided into a roof and a base. Cranial roof, comprised of the frontal, occipital and two parietal bones. It is also known as the calvarium. Cranial base, comprised of the frontal, sphenoid, ethmoid, occipital, parietal, and temporal bones. These bones articulate with the first cervical vertebra, atlas, the facial bones, and the mandible, jaw. Caption it equals, attachment underscore 9663, align equals, align center, width equals, 1002. Fig 1 bones of the calvarium and cranial base, caption. Start clinical. Clinical relevance, cranial fractures. Fractures of the cranium typically arise from blunt force or penetrating trauma. When considering cranial fractures, one area of clinical importance is the terion, a H-shaped junction between the temporal, parietal, frontal, and sphenoid bones. The terion overlays the mid